My favorite thing about working for TUSD is the community. My coworkers are my favorite people.
TUSD specifically, I love that they have the mentor program that again has saved my life throughout these first 2 years. And everything's really streamlined. Everything is very approachable and easy to navigate. If I ever have a question, it's answered immediately. I'm never just left hanging. I love that about TUSD.
I've always felt that TUSD has allowed a large amount of autonomy. Like you kind of can pretty much approach lessons and things however you want, that could be a function of the school, but also I just think TUSD in general allows teachers a lot of freedom in their practice.
The thing I like the most is probably the students. They're fun, they make the job exciting, it's something new every single day, and it's never boring, so yeah.
I chose TUSD for a couple of reasons. One, I live in the district, so working in the district where I live, I think builds community and makes me feel like I'm serving more than just my school, but my community and my district as well.
What I like mostly about working with TUSD is the sense of community and being able to work in dual language program. We're very fortunate to have that here with TUSD as well as some of the other districts, but TUSD has made it its home.
So I grew up in TUSD. I went to Sam Hughes Elementary, Dodge Middle School, and then I graduated from Saguaro High School in 2012. And so TUSD has always felt like my second home. It's been such a big part of my life. I've been here, since I was really, really little. So I just love being able to work here. And now I even get to work with some of my former teachers. I know Jackie Krieg is a huge part of the mentor program, and she was my 4th grade teacher. So it's been so wonderful getting to see old faces and just work together with my former teachers.
The best thing I like about working with TUSD is their flexibility, the fact that I'm working with the Arizona internship program and I can be a GCU student and work on my master's at the same time, as well as professional development opportunities.
What I like most about working with TUSD is that, at least within my own school where I have all my experience, they treat us like the professionals that we are, and I know not every teacher has that opportunity, so I really appreciate that.
The reason I like TUSD is because I've been a TUSD student since I was in school, since PACE. And so I have a real love for TUSD already. And I always knew that if I became a teacher, I'd be at TUSD.
I'm going to make it 2 pieces of advice. 1, work out. Do something outside of your job that's physical and fun. And 2, love your kids.
This too shall pass. One rough class, one rough year, one rough student doesn't determine you as a teacher. You determine yourself as a teacher, and this too shall pass, and it does get better. And use your mentor, use them as your sounding board, use them to get ideas. They're there for a reason, and they're such a great resource. But this too shall pass, I promise.
You will be your own teacher and appreciate your own style because it's beauty, and whatever you bring to the classroom is genuine and it's your own. So don't ever be ashamed of being your own unique self in the classroom, because if you bring that, then it's genuine and the kids love everything about it.
My advice though would be to just not give up. As cheesy as that is, you can do it, and you will feel really great when you do.
Take the time to get to know your students.
The piece of advice I'd love to give to new teachers is to reflect on everything. Reflect on your relationship with students, reflect on your teaching styles, reflect on your management procedures, and then use those reflections to grow and become better.
don't try to do it all in your first year. You're going to want to have all these wonderful ideas, and you're going to want to try this, this, and this, and you're going to want to be on this council or part of this at your school, and just don't do it all in one year.
Being a new teacher is hard. So whenever you can, you should try to steal material from other teachers, like with their permission, and also lean heavily on your colleagues in your department, outside of your department, admin, your new teacher mentor. Whenever you need help with somebody, somebody's going to be there to answer. Somebody is able to answer that question. So ask it.
Being a new teacher, you're gonna have a lot of things thrown at you. You take everything with a grain of salt. Use what you need to. Don't let it scare you. Just embrace it. Take on any challenges that come your way, and understand. Rome wasn't built in a day. Your classroom's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna look perfect. It's not gonna be clean all the time. You gotta embrace the chaos.
Our time working with my mentor has definitely helped me grow as a teacher because of the relationship that I see that she has with my students, and she definitely models that love and care for the students, and I think that's something that I can definitely copy and mimic and definitely implement every day in my classroom. So it's easy to see how natural it is for her, and it's easy to see how natural it can be for me as well.
Mr. Reese has really helped me connect with my students.
My mentor saved my life. So she directly impacted my students in every way possible because I felt like I was drowning a lot of the times, and she was my lifesaver constantly. So every policy I apply came from her, and it's been such a godsend.
My mentor teacher was with me thick and thin, no matter what, through the good times and the bad, and always reassured me that I'm meant to be here.
I think the most impact that it had with my students was just me being more aware of what I'm doing with my students, not just my personal planning, but having that communication with someone with so much experience. So then I went into the classroom feeling more experienced, even though it is my first year teaching as a middle school teacher.
My students love my mentor teacher. Our weekly visits bring a lot of joy to our class, and every time she comes, she leaves and I am a better teacher, so I am able to serve my students a lot better.
I found that both my mentors that I've had over the last 2 years were really uplifting and just gave me the energy to keep doing what I was doing and bring a positive spirit to class every single day.
So my why would be giving students these days consistency in the classroom and any support in an inconsistent world these days, and just being somebody that they can come to and be the hug that they need in the morning, the high five that they need in the morning, and any support that they need, whether it be academic or personal.
So my why for teaching is just to being a positive Black female for the students in TUSD in my classroom. With social media and technology being so dominant, I'm someone real right in front of them from Tucson who left and came back to give back to my community in that way, and just give them a positive person that they can look up to reach out to, so they can do the best that they can do in all aspects of their life.
I truly have just made really incredible connections with my students, and I keep coming back to the same school because I like to see them progress, and I love seeing them in the years after 7th grade, which is what I teach.
My why is definitely my daughter, because I want to be the type of teacher that my daughter has. I want a teacher that's going to push her, I want a teacher that's going to have high expectations, and I want a teacher that's going to bring out the best. And so I try to apply that to my own students, and I try to force myself, even on those days where you don't want to use my why as my daughter and my students to kind of expect and keep up with those expectations of what I expect out of a teacher for my own child.
My why is my family. My mom, my dad, my grandparents, they're all teachers. So I grew up with teaching. I was always in the classroom, and I loved it every step of the way.
My why for teaching is the aha moments. The moments when students have been struggling and suddenly they get it and it clicks for them, or when they discover that they really enjoy learning about a specific topic, or they are good at a specific skill. I live for those moments where kids light up because of their learning.
I had pretty regular teachers growing up. Nobody really stood out. And so my why is I want to be that life-changing teacher for at least one student. If it happens for one student, then I did a good job.
My why is I love my students.
Why? So that moment that a kid understands something and that light bulb goes off, that's my why.
I am a teacher because I want to know that I'm making a difference every day, and in my previous career that wasn't really the case, so that's kind of what keeps me going.
So my mentor Jesse always told me, embrace the chaos. Nothing's perfect. You gotta just go with it and do your best.
When I reflect, I'm generally very critical of myself, so I focus on the things that went wrong, and it's really easy to forget the things that went right. And working with Eric really helped me first think about what went well before thinking about what didn't go so well.
I think the word consistency is the thing that comes to mind when it comes down when I think about a catchphrase with my mentor. Just always being mindful of staying consistency helps out a lot in classroom management and just makes time go by a lot more smoothly.
She inspired me to keep doing what I'm doing, noticing that I take my time with the kids and really go through higher order thinking, which I hadn't realized that I was doing, and it was really, really great to have that affirmation.
My catchphrase for my mentor was stop smiling, because whenever I'm nervous or I'm approached with confrontation, I smile. It's just a defense mechanism, and she noticed immediately that the students weren't taking me seriously, so she coached me relentlessly to stop smiling, and this year it's night and day, just from those two words, stop smiling.
Well, if you have the pleasure of having Betty DeDante as your mentor, you're gonna soon hear, so good, excellent. And that's what I think of.
One thing that my mentor always tells me is to take time for myself, take a moment at home to relax. That doesn't have to do with work.
My piece of advice from my mentor was to trust yourself. That you came into this, you have learned, you have done everything you can to prepare yourself. Trust yourself.